Do you know the difference between restricted property and unrestricted property? Let's go over it today. What is restricted land? What does it mean to have restrictions on it? So this could be deed restrictions, it could be covenants for a neighborhood per se, it could be from the county, they could be residential, it could only be residential, or it could be just commercial or agriculture. And this matters because it means that this is what you can do on your property. Example of some restricted property. This is Frio County Estates in Moore, Texas that we have. It has some thoughtful restrictions. What does that mean? You need to get anything you build here approved through the architectural community. Doesn't mean that you can't have or they're restricting you, but you can have mobile homes, but they've got to be approved. We just don't want you to bring in a 1973 mobile home right next to you. You can't have a junkyard right next to you. It's to keep the values high. Now, what does it mean to have an unrestricted property? That literally means it's unrestricted. It could be residential and commercial at the same time. It could be agricultural and residential. It's unrestricted. You can do whatever you want there. Some of the pros of restricted property is that it keeps it more uniformed. Everybody at a certain level, that way it can potentially keep property values high. It makes sure that there's not a junkyard next to you. Some of the cons of restricted property is that you are restricted in a way. If you wanted to have your home here and also run a business, you may not be able to do that. So you really need to look into what is in the restricted covenants. The unrestricted pros, is you've got the freedom and flexibility to do really whatever you want there. And a lot of folks like that. But some of the cons are having that freedom and flexibility means that anybody next to you can do whatever they want. And they could potentially affect your land values. So those are the things that you're going to need to look into when you're buying property. Do you want the freedom and flexibility, or do you want restrictive that you're okay with some rules to keep everything at a certain level? Neither one is bad or good. They're just different. And you need to figure out as a buyer what you want. If you guys have any questions or you want to look at some properties that we have of both ways, go ahead and comment below. This is Joshua, and we'll see you next time.